आवाज सही आ रही?
Yes, sounds perfect.
ठीक है, सही है. Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to our TOI session. Me, Fahad Ahmed, along with Anish Iqbal, we will tell you about the new technology by JetBrains, Kotlin Multiplatform. So what is it exactly? Kotlin Multiplatform is a technology designed to simplify the development of cross-platform projects. It reduces the time spent writing and maintaining the same code for different platforms while retaining the flexibility and benefits of native programming. With Kotlin Multiplatform, you can create different multi-platform projects for web, desktop, etc. And the applications will work on the different operating systems such as Mac OS, Windows, Linux, Android OS, all those. So if we dig a little deeper into this, this diagram depicts how the Kotlin multi-platform is structured. So if you look at the shared code part, the application logic, that is the common code that will contain the business logic, which will be the same for all the platforms. And if we want to write platform-specific code, for example, we want to get the GUID of a device, you have to use specific native code for that. We can write the native code and use that piece of code as APIs. The iOS specific APIs, Android specific APIs mentioned in the diagram are those parts of code, the native code, which will be used in the shared code, and the user interface is also written in the native language. For iOS, it will be Swift UI, and for Android, it will be Jetpack Compose, and for the web, it will be JS. So this diagram shows is another representation of how the Kotlin multi-platform actually works. So we have common Kotlin at the center, including the language, code libraries, and basic tools. And code written in common Kotlin works everywhere on all the platforms. So with the Kotlin multi-platform libraries, you can use the multi-platform logic in common and multi-platform specific code. Common code can rely on a set of libraries that cover everyday tasks such as HTTP, serialization, merging coroutines, etc. And to interop with platforms, use platform-specific versions of Kotlin. The platform-specific versions, for example, they are mentioned here: Kotlin JVM, Kotlin JS, JavaScript for the web side platforms, the Kotlin native for mobile side. The JVM is for Java, any Java-related application or server side. So they include extensions of the Kotlin language, and platform-specific libraries and tools are also included there. So through these platforms, you can access the platform native code, which is the outer circle, the JVM code, the GS code, and the native code for each platform specifically.
Okay, so let's talk about the Kotlin multi-platform mobile. What is that? So the Kotlin multi-platform, which Fahad is earlier explaining, that is an umbrella under which there lies Kotlin multi-platform mobile. So it is a specific plugin, or you can see the software development kit that is specifically available for the mobile app platforms, such as Android and iOS. So we can use that platform specific plugin to incorporate that into our code, and in that way we can achieve functionality of the shared code base or common code base, or you can say the cross-platform development for the mobile platforms. So that is, this plugin is actually, this concept or plugin is actually in the beta since last year, 2022, and it is expected to have a stable release in the current year, which is 2023. So we can really expect that as it is in the beta, so the APIs are much stable, and but yet the stable release is not out. So we should expect a little migrations or changes if someone has adopted that Kotlin multi-platform mobile plugin for their mobile apps. So this is actually a very basic and similar representation of the project structure. How does it look on the mobile app? So this is on the right side, that shows the structure. So for example, for the other cross-platform frameworks like the Flutter or the React Native or some other framework like Ionic, I think we have the same kind of app structure where there is a module for the Android, there is a module for the iOS, and then there is common module which have the code that is shared across all the platforms. So similarly, here we do have that structure, like the Android app that contains the Android specific code. For the iOS app, we can see the iOS app module that solely contains all of the iOS related files and all the application code. The shared code is an important module that holds the common code that is shared across both the platforms. So you may hear I'm constantly saying the shared code, the shared code. So if we compare the Kotlin multi-platform mobile as compared to the with the other cross-platform frameworks available in the market, let's say Flutter or the React Native, this is different in terms of approach. So this is not, we can say, a more cross-platform approach. This is a kind of a hybrid approach. So the key factor here is you keep the user experience same while you share the common code across all the platforms. So you can really encapsulate all of the business logic, the networking layer of the application, the data handling of the application, the models, anything, the third-party utilities, anything. So you can keep all of that stuff in common code written in Kotlin, and that common code can be accessed by multiple platforms, in that case by the Android and by the iOS app. So for that matter, we can import the common modules in each of the specific platform, and then we can really access that function that is written in the common module. So we can get the benefit of, this is how we can get the benefit of the Kotlin multi-platform mobile. So now let's look at a deep down picture of this multi-platform mobile plugin. So we can clearly see there are two layers. The bottom layer is actually the common shared code. The above layer is actually the UI code. So the goal here is that you write the platform specific code. For example, Android UI code is written with the Jetpack Compose, which is the latest framework for the UI. Or you can use the XML, that is a modal approach. Similarly, for the iOS app development, you can use the Swift UI to develop the UIs for the iOS application. And both of these UIs are subscribed to the events and states that are shared by the common code. So in the common code, you can see we can keep the data source, we can keep the networking layer, we can keep the file storage that is handling the database operations, and we can keep the models. So all of the repository, the business layer, the logic. For example, you need to validate some email, you need to validate the password in the application. So that logic can be placed in a common code, and that function can be accessed in platform specific manners. For example, iOS can access that function to get the valid email address or get the valid password, and similarly the Android can use the same function to access that state. So this is how that Kotlin multi-platform works. So you may wonder what part of code we can share between these platforms. As explained earlier, so we can share the networking layer of the application completely. For that, we have the libraries or the plugins available by the Kotlin community. So KTOI is a library that we can use for the networking of the application. That is supported for both the server-side development and for the client-side API integration as well. Similarly, we can use the data storage, which can be achieved again through a common solution, that is SQL Delight. That is a more SQL-based library, which can be used to handle all kind of database operations on the platform, multiple platforms, such as Android and iOS. So we can use, build the database structure using the SQL Delight, and that can be accessed to each of the platforms. We can have then internal any utilities that we use, for example, analytics, the logging for the application, that can also be made common. So if I can say anything outside the UI can be made common in the Kotlin multi-platform mobile. And this is one of the key benefits that we keep all of the logic, all of the